you ever stopped and wondered what people are thinking? What was that person thinking? What have I been thinking? Or maybe someone's asked you before, what were you thinking? You guessed it. This week we're talking about thoughts. Some days our thoughts are like traffic. Fast, slow. Sometimes there's no traffic. Sometimes it's gridlock. Regardless of our thinking patterns, we all have that nagging voice inside our heads giving us their opinion, shall we say. This inner critic is alive and well within all of us. This week, our weekly ambassadors are sharing with us some of the tools for processing negative self-talk. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi, I'm Melissa Rewald-Thewan. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Eagle County Schools, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how I process through negative self-talk. And just so all of you know, it's really been something on my mind lately, considering all the circumstances that everyone has been through. And I think in the situations where I see myself kind of tending that way is when I get really frustrated. I'm a planner, and when I'm not able to plan in the situations that we have going on right now, it makes it frustrating for me, and sometimes I feel like I can't do it, and so in my mind is telling me, just shut down, you can't do this. And I think the way that I get through it is really taking a step back from whatever I'm feeling at the time. When my emotions are high is when I tend to have more kind of negative self-talk or reflection around myself, and I need to take a step back, and then the next day or in an hour or two really go back and readdress what's causing me the frustration, that's causing me to think like I can't do something. And so I would recommend that everybody take a pause, step away from the emotion and identify the emotion that's causing that negative self-talk, and then move forward. Give yourself smaller chunks maybe of the task or whatever it is, or what you're coming up against to take on, and then work yourself through it and let yourself have a few small successes around it before you just say it's not something I can do, or I don't have the capacity, or I'm not able to do that. So I've always found that after a little bit of time and a little bit of space and chunking out whatever I have to do, that I do find myself to be successful with it. And it's just kind of a moment of weakness that catches me in that negative self-talk.
Hi, so how do I handle negative self-talk? One of the things that I'd like to say first is that this negative self-talk is really common to all of us. We all have this inner critic inside of us that tells us maybe we're not good enough in some way at different times. That's very normal for that to happen. But one thing I'd like to talk about is like how thoughts and emotions and behaviors and bodily sensations all kind of tie together. So oftentimes, if I'm having a negative thought, maybe thinking I'm not good enough, that causes me to kind of to step back a little bit and maybe retract. And so I begin to feel those things in the body, and they show up. Those negative thoughts begin to show up as emotions. Maybe it's anxiety or depression or just feeling unsettled in some way. And oftentimes those will show up as feelings in the body, as maybe a clenched throat or a tightness in the gut or tightness in the hips, maybe heaviness behind the eyes. And so from there, we begin to kind of notice the sensations in the body, kind of name the emotion. And once we can do that, we begin to create space around those thoughts and emotions and sensations. And also, we can begin to create space around how we want to proceed from there. Oftentimes, we get caught up in a negative reaction versus kind of a mindful response to different things. And so if we can kind of breathe around the thoughts, breathe around the emotions, breathe around the sensations, we can begin to smooth out those rough edges and begin to respond to the challenges in our lives in a way that better serves us and also better serves the people around us. So that's my advice, and one way I work with negative self-talk and thoughts. So thanks very much.
Thanks, Melissa and Tom, for taking time out of your busy day to help us better understand our thoughts and how to shift or process that negative self-talk. Over the next week, see if you can pause and create enough space to see the connection between our thoughts, our physical reactions and our emotions, and to see if there's any difference in how they drive your behavior.